Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Now in this video we're going to go ahead and draw Patrick Star and Squidward interacting. So we've learned the basic shapes and forms to make up these characters. We even learned expressions and everything like that. We're going to kind of put all those things together and we're going to draw them together interacting, because a lot of times that is a very tough thing to do, but it's a great exercise, because if you want to take this to the next level, if you want to draw your own little comic book strips or something like that, it's a key thing to learn. Because a lot of times, sometimes if you practice just drawing one character, it's really tough to go ahead and put another character in there. And my kind of advice is I kind of draw them almost at the same time. I won't fully render them. So with that started, let's go ahead and go. And one last thing, if you guys are here and if you guys have skipped the beginning part of this course, shame, shame, shame. Unless you're advanced, but even then, it's great to go back and really get your, really go in there and learn how to do lines correctly. Go in there, because it's only going to make you better. So if you guys haven't done the very basics, I know it's, you may think it's boring to draw lines, but you'll thank me later on. You might see me 20 years from now, Kenny, thank you for teaching me how to draw a line. Okay, I know, let's get drawing, right? So we're going to go ahead and draw the gesture line of Squidward, and I kind of want him standing right there. A lot of times when you get really good, you can nail it in one line, and that was an exercise I did in college. Nail a gesture in one line. So a gesture would be like if I'm sad, though it's going to be an arc. So that's about Squidward's basic gesture right there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I can do it with Patrick. I can do kind of a line like this, and it's kind of tough to see, but you can kind of close your eyes and kind of figure out what they're doing. And then I'm going to go ahead and just very lightly, come in here. He's a big triangle, and you're like, Kenny, what are you doing? I'm just getting the basic, formation of Patrick, and I know he's going to be kind of like right here, and you'll see what, if you saw the breakdowns, you know exactly what I'm doing. So I don't recommend skipping anything. It's like a book. If I read Harry Potter, I'm like, well, I just want to get to chapter 17. What about all the other chapters? So this is a book, guys. Read it. All right, so here we go. I have the basic gesture line of Squidward. So now let's go ahead and put in his watermelon head. And there we go. There, see? And it's good. We do a lot of light lines because, it's tough. Sometimes you'll get really good and you may nail that, watermelon in one line, but sometimes we do it multiple times, and within there we can find the line that we like. So that's why we do it a lot, and we do it lightly, because those are our construction lines. And so we're going to come over here, and Squidward's just going to be like looking at Patrick like this disdained look. So then we're going to come here. So here, if we kind of remember, Squidward's face is a bit of a square, and let's go ahead and draw that pickle for his mouth. And we're going to draw through the figure. We're going to just keep, it's better. It's a lot, it's better if we do that, because if we kind of came here and didn't draw through the figure, it wouldn't match up. So then we have that line of action right here. And so Squidward's eyes, we're going to draw just some big ovals. Now, even if his eyes are closed or open, we still want to get that, because we want our eyes to kind of like have value. Like if I only drew like this, it's not going to seem as full. That's why no matter what, we still draw his eyes, because his eyes are going to kind of be like kind of closed just a little bit, because he's like, him, he's like all the time. So then we're going to draw his nose, and it's going to come down, and it's very light. So, so I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. We're going to come around, draw that kind of bean pickle shape, and we just come around so we have that down pretty well. And then we're going to go ahead, and since I have this part, I kind of want to start drawing Patrick's head so they can kind of they can do a basic connection. So I'm going to come here. I have this line of action, and I'm just going to start smoothing him out just a little bit. Okay. And he is fat, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw a circle. Then I'm going to come around here. I'm going to draw a line. find his eyes. Now that's why our construction lines are very light, because it might get a little too confusing if they're very dark. And see, his eyes overlap, and then what I can do here is just delete that line. And then we're going to come around and see if I'm not happy right here, if I don't have enough space where I drew his eyes, this is just light enough so I can come by and kind of change it. See, these construction lines are light. That's why we never fully commit to something until we're happy with the basic part of our drawing. And then I'm going to draw his eyes like that, and it's going to look, well, so now that I have the eyes set, I can go ahead and I'm going to adjust his nose a little bit right here. And there we go. I'm going to have him looking at Patrick. And his eyes are, or his pupils actually, are rectangles. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw Patrick looking up. So now we have, now they can see already they're kind of like basically interacting with each other right now. And I could still make adjustment to Squidward's head because it's just our construction lines. Then I'm going to come around here and draw his mouth. And then just come around, follow that. Then we're going to draw his teeth, and his teeth, pretty easy to draw. I'm going to draw, come around here, and just extend. Alright, and then here's one thing that's going to make this drawing look. He's going to like be scowling, so we're going to come here and draw his eyebrows. And if you remember with expressions, the eyebrows and the eyes can totally change your drawing. So you saw how it started to change already. So let's go ahead and zoom in and kind of clean this up. So we're going to come around, do the same thing here, and the eyes. So remember, with Squidward has these little eyelids. We close it on up there, come around here, then we just come down. And you can see, just adjust a little bit. So now I know his eyes come down here. And then I can add more of that pupil. Then we're going to come over here, add that same little square. And now we'll start cleaning up. I mean, these are our early construction lines, so a lot of times with drawings we have to, you know, adjust and readjust, like I did there. It happens, even to the best of us. So there, let me render this out a little bit more so I can draw that pupil. There we go. Then we'll come over here. Ah, excellent. I'm happy with it. So now let's go take a look. We can see them already starting to interact. So I'm going to go ahead and put in his neck. And then we're going to go ahead and draw his body, which is basically a very long pill shape. And his legs, just kind of, we can draw just light kind of lines. Those are just our construction lines. I'm going to come around here, because remember he has these kind of, and then we'll draw another arcing line right here, and that's something we can always clean up. But we have the basic thing. And then we'll come here, just do sticks. I'm going to come over here, draw a line out, and just basically get our little pose going right there. So we got that. Now let's go ahead and start really getting in our pose for Patrick. So we're going to come down and let's zoom in on him. So I got the big circle. I'm going to make a minor adjustment right here. So here we go. And we're going to draw, even where his mouth is right here, we're still going to draw through. It doesn't really, that way we can see his, make sure that line connects. And then we're going to come here and draw his arm. And then we're going to come and I'm going to draw his mouth. And you can see how a smile and the eyes can just change his look instantly, because right now he's kind of laughing. And we're going to go ahead and draw him having a slide whistle. So I'm going to draw this whistle through the figure. And then we're going to come here. I'm just drawing the basic shape of the slide whistle, and then you see how I can render it out really quickly. I'm going to draw the bell of the whistle right here. And we're just going to draw a little line. So there we go. We have his hand holding the whistle. I'm happy with it, so I can render it out a little bit. We have his arm coming out. And you can already tell what he's doing, and you can already see Squidward's not happy about him playing the slide whistle. And you see why I drew that line here? That way, this line right here where his mouth is connects with his stomach, and you know, it just looks nicer. Then I'm going to go ahead and start outlining where I want his shorts to be, because he's going to be sitting on the floor in this position. And I can start erasing some of my construction lines, moving those out of the way. They should be very light, and that's why we keep them light. And people ask me, why do you draw so lightly? Well, because our construction lines are meant to be kind of erased. You know, because when a building is built, you don't see the scaffolding anymore. It's under it. So, with that said, I think I say that a lot. So we're going to come by and see, we got his legs down. And we're almost done. Awesome, guys. You guys are super rad. And I want his mouth, his hand to touch his mouth. So I'm going to start outlining his hand right here. I'm going to come down and around. Excuse me. And there we go. And we're going to draw his back. So we have him now. He's back there blowing the slide whistle, and I'm going to draw a line. So we have everything mapped out, and you know, Squidward's in the foreground, he's a little bit closer, Patrick's in the background, and we're doing good. So now all we have left is to kind of start rendering our drawing, and that's going to be really easy. So I'm going to come around here and draw his shirt. And I'm going to draw through the figure, guys, remember. And then I'm going to draw a line right here. And we're following that original line. And we're drawing that hand. And then we're going to come around, see how this little sketchy thing fits. Well, because it's my guideline. And then we have Squidward's fin. So let's go ahead and draw that. And I'm going to adjust just a little bit. Adjust just a little bit. Here's what I'm going to do. Because from this angle, we'd see a little bit more of it. There we go. And it's got little suction cups. Now I know this video may be a little bit long, but we're learning to sketch, we're learning the proper techniques. I'm talking to you through this as well. So, you know, depending on your level, even if you're more an advanced level, it's extremely handy. So we're going to come here, do an arc, and we're drawing his collar right here. And we're going to do another arc, same way, and come in and bring it around. We have his collar. We have the little V for his shirt. And then from here, I'm going to come down. Same thing from here. And since he's kind of, since we're kind of looking up, his shirt's going to be like that, like that. And I'm going to draw the other side of his shirt. I'm going to come here. And that's where his body's at. And we're good right there. So then from here, we can start drawing his leg. Bring this line down. Let's get really good with our lines and then come around here. He's got another leg. Then we got one more leg back here. And bring it down just a little bit. There we go. Now let's go ahead and take a step back and take a look at what we've got. It's really good actually, so it's excellent. So let's go ahead and commit to this arm right here. We're going to go ahead and draw. And you know what, here's what we want to do. We want to kind of draw from there, because your arms are usually in the same place, and see if we kind of draw an imaginary line and draw straight to the figure, we have a good spot where the other arm should be. I'm going to come by, and you see it's much more natural when his arm, when we draw this line right here, because our arms are even. You know, if you look at me, there's a line here and a line here. You don't see it, but you know, we're not built like, you know, one like that, you know. So if we do this, a line is going to go through our necks. So that's another thing to do. If we're drawing like Squidward and he's kind of like doing an airplane pose, we're going to draw a straight line through that figure. We're going to, you know, like just like that. And I can erase. So don't do that to your drawing. Then we're going to come by and start drawing his arm. And you can see how that guideline helped me right there. And we're going to draw some little lines, like he's like, you know, just to display some kind of movement. And then all we have to do now is finish up, and let's go ahead and draw his feet. And see my guidelines right there, how they help. Alright, so we have here, we have this line, so we're going to draw this line, come down, and then we have that first foot. Awesome. When we get that other foot, we're going to come down here. We're going to draw a line here and a line here. And you know, I was a little off, but that guideline showed me where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to draw another line right here. We come by. Our construction lines are our target, basically. And when we do them, we can see around the area where we want something to be. And that's why we do, construction lines, and make sure we put things in a certain area. Like, oh, okay, I want that to be here. And here's another thing. See, I want to do this. Well, okay, so then I need to know that this foot is going to come down to here. And do the same thing with this line right here. And there you go. We have his feet down, we have Patrick pretty much down, and all that's left to do is erase our construction lines and just start really committing to our drawing. But we have the basic sketch down of our drawing, we have everything pretty much ready to go. And like I said, a great tool is a meated eraser. And a meated eraser, if you haven't seen it, is basically like a piece of clay. I loved those things when I was a kid and drawing, because then it's a great tool too, because you can meet it into a very fine point and really get in there and start erasing some of those, some of your guidelines. So let's go ahead and finish up Patrick. We're going to go ahead and do the same kind of eyelids right here. And then we're going to draw his eyebrows. But look at his eyes. He's like, because he's cracking up because he's playing the slide whistle. You remember that episode, right? Great episode. Slide whistling. And then I have my guidelines, and then I'm just committing to those lines, drawing them very hard on our paper, because I'm happy with the overall look of my drawing. Come down here. And of course, I am, taking a little longer because I'm trying to explain it as well. But after this exercise, after you do this, I want you guys to practice sketching it and going quicker, not too fast. Not really like, trying to do a speed drawing, but what you're trying to do is just get the gesture and trying to get the whole overall drawing, pretty quick. Not like trying to race, but just being fluid and moving fast with your drawings. I guess it's the best way. I'm like, you're not trying to draw this drawing in 10 seconds, but you're trying to get fluid with your drawings and get sketches, get your sketching done in a good amount of time. And what I would try to do is, for your homework for this assignment, is just kind of like get really basic unrendered drawings of characters interacting, just almost like stick figures, but a little bit more fleshed out, like we talked about in the very beginning. So that's what I want you guys to do, is practice. Now we've kind of learned all the main characters and interact. Just get some sketchy lines and drawings of them, and kind of challenge yourself a little bit. Because that's gonna, like I said in my other video, that's how you're going to improve, by challenging yourself. Because you cannot become the greatest if you don't really, challenge yourself. Like I like to play Mortal Kombat. That's if you guys seen me some of my other Hollow videos, you're not gonna get good if you only challenge people that are not good. Even if you challenge the best guy and he beats you pretty bad, you're going to learn from it more than you would learn by beating, your little brother or your little sister in the game, because it's not much of a challenge. You got to learn by advancing yourself. But there we go. I mean, we have Patrick right there laughing. He's playing the slide whistle. Squidward is not happy. But, in the next video, I want you to practice. See, so we have them there. We can even draw a little couple of things in the background. Let's see, let's go ahead and draw a barrel. We could draw another line here. Here's the Krusty Krab. Because he's bothering him at work. And for an example, so here we go. I'm going to hide this layer, but see, that's a cool little example. He's like, what are you doing? Here's like what I'd want you to do, just like really quick. Like, here's Squidward. Or actually, let me try to do a different pose. He's looking down. It doesn't have to be fully rendered. His mouth, just really basic shapes. His bean body. And then his hand, and, he's got that pad. And, doing a little pose like that, his feet, something just like this, and then he's pointing at little Plankton right here, and Plankton is, he's kind of yelling or something like that. Something just like this. It's not fully rendered, but it's going to help you. It's going to help you understand how to move the characters and how to place them and stuff like that. So after your homework, we've done a fully rendered one with my help. Now I want you guys to do really sketchy drawings. So maybe instead of Plankton, it's SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is, he's kind of, he's kind of looking up, and he's got his nose right there, and maybe he's, maybe he's not like looking happy, and then he's, something, on the lines of this, just really sketchy, practicing that. This was just like, okay, I'm guiding you. Now I want you guys to help, and like put those breakdowns together and those basic shapes that make those characters, and practice, doing a few interactions, with the world. You see how quick that was. That's something I want you guys to try out. Just get really fast, really sketchy. It doesn't have to look fully rendered. That's the problem. A lot of times when drawing, people want to have a sketchbook that looks super awesome. They don't want to have a sketchbook that looks, not so good, because then your friends see, like, what is this? But I mean, that's the way you're going to get better. If you want, you can have a sketchbook. You can hide it. You know, you can put your best drawings in one sketchbook, but don't be afraid to, you know, challenge yourself or have not so good drawings, because you got to get up there. But that's my homework for you on this next assignment. I want you guys to do some sketchy stuff like this. Then, you know, and just do a lot of them, and then later on you can start rendering them. But I think it's a cool little homework assignment for you guys to practice. Well, guys, I want to thank you very much for joining me in this video. It's been a blast. I love drawing with you guys. I love having the opportunity to teach you guys, because I made a lot of drawing mistakes in my life, and I'm just trying to help guide you guys into an awesome drawing path. So remember, if you skip chapters, go back. If you were here through all the chapters, you guys are awesome. Your homework assignment is to do quick sketches of character interactions. They don't have to be fully rendered. It's just you're going to train your drawing muscles, like these big guns right here. All right, guys, this has been Kenny O from Mahalo.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and deuces, which means peace, and I'll see you in the next video.